Right, and we are live. Hello.
Hey everyone.
Well,
Hi.
we're not live yet, but we are definitely.
Oh.
Let us know if we are live, guys. It says we are on my iPad, so hopefully we actually are, and it's not just me being silly. Hello, hello. How's everyone's NaNoWriMo going today? Good, I hope. Let's see who's here. Devin is here, first in the chat as always. Hello. Sarah C is here. Boone writes hello, and Steffi, of course, is here as well. How are you all doing? We're here for some productivity sprints because NaNoWriMo, obviously. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody?
Sure. Hi everyone. I'm Leah. I'm pretty new to AuthorTube still. My channel is Story Manifestors, and I'm sort of trying to do a mixture of general AuthorTube content and more like trope analysis and stuff like that. So like seeing how we can mostly focus on like sensitivity reading things. And I'm also a writer. Shocking! Oh gosh. I wrote a epic fantasy that's coming out next year, so I'm self-publishing, and that's fun. And yeah. Excited to be here with all of you, and second time Nanoa, so I'm really new about Nano too, but I did make it last year, so let's see how this year goes.
That's good. There's a lot of new writers for NaNoWriMo this year.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
It is. Most of the people I speak to say, it's my first time doing NaNoWriMo, and I'm like, oh, you're in for such a horrible treat.
That's a good description of it, a horrible treat.
So see good vibes. Tyrrell writes, heyo, how are you today? So yeah, we're going to be doing some what I like to call climb the ladder writing sprints. I apologize to everyone in the Discord for how I'm going to be doing these sprints, because no doubt you are going to be joining along with us. Basically what we do is we start off with an 8-minute sprint, and then we double that every single time. So we'll do an 8-minute, a 16-minute, 24-minute, and then a 32-minute sprint right at the end.
Climbing it.
It'll be fun. Yes. I tend to do this more recently now because I know a lot of people tend to do a shorter sprint first to sort of get into the flow and then go for longer. So it just eases everybody in a little bit better. And then it gives us a slightly more chance to chat in between, which is good. Let me know, everybody, what are you guys working on for NaNoWriMo? What are you working on specifically? What scene? What moment? Let us know. Leah, what are you doing?
What's your main character feeling?
Yes.
As
anxious as all we are, I hope not.
Yes, exactly. I'm personally starting. I'm a Nano Rebel this year, so I kind of wrote the first half of my book already, and I'm thinking it's going to take 50k to finish it. So currently it's chapter 15, and it's theoretically a fluffy, beautiful move-in chapter. So I'm just very there's some flirting going on, there's some failed cooking going on, so that's where I'm currently at and trying to put my mind into. How about you?
Fun chapter. That's good. I love fun chapters. Take the edge off a little bit.
Definitely after all the
I'm on chapter 12, I think, of Abingdon House. It's my middle grade novel. Ooh. It's been such a chore. I'm on chapter 13 now.
Oh wow.
It's been such a chore to write this.
No.
I don't know why, it just has. We are at the bit where my protagonist and her friends are going to meet vampires for the first time.
Oh, interesting.
I'm very excited about. So we'll see how well it goes. And
I just heard that vampires are sort of making like a comeback, so that's pretty cool.
It's not even okay. So it's a magical realism novel.
Oh, nice.
So things like vampires and werewolves and stuff, they just exist. And I was just like, I can't have a magical realism novel and not include vampires.
True.
Because of how popular they are as a supernatural race. So I was just, I'm going to have to introduce them. There's going to have to be some in there somewhere.
Yeah.
This one scene in this one chapter at the moment that they're actually in. So it's just sort of trying to introduce the world building as well a little bit. I was just like, yes, vampires, I must add them. I can't get around that, unfortunately.
Another horrible treat.
Yes, definitely. Hazel Faze is here. Hello. CB394 is here as well. Boone, yes, yay for first timers. It's really good at the moment. It's really good, especially in the writing community, and especially now that the writing community has moved onto Discord more frequently. The community is more supportive and there than it was a few years ago. So for first timers, you've got everybody else around you as well. So you're going to have that support system, which I think is very, very important when you're trying to write an absurd amount in a month. Sarah C, first year of Nano for me, so I'm excited, but I've been writing since I was very little, so it's about time.
Oh, nice.
That's exactly how I started NaNoWriMo. I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to give it a go. I've been writing for long enough, I might as well. And then I haven't not done Nano since then. So such a horrible treat. I love that. Yeah. Steffi still plotting away on my YA paranormal romance. Oh, very good. I thought I'd had the outline done by the first, but life threw that idea right out. It often does. Life doesn't like NaNoWriMo very much. But I don't know why.
YA paranormal sounds cool though.
Yes. We're all here for Steffi's paranormal romance. Yeah. I just got a horny vampire story going on as well.
Good. Let's get all the horny vampires in here.
Great Price here. Hello, how are you? CB394, I'm writing Marvel fanfic, Iron Man, and all of that, yeah? Not writing in order, and I'm writing one of those stories where the characters watch the movies. Oh, ooh, that's fun. One of those fanfics. Yes, I remember reading those a very long time ago, back when I read fan fiction. I don't read it anymore. I should. I just don't have a fandom that I'm in that I love dearly enough to warrant going out and finding fan fiction for it. But yeah. Yes.
I used to read fan fiction all the time too. I think if I get, this is gonna be like totally out there, but if I could get a magazine printed to read fan fiction on, like a printed monthly best of fan fiction, that'd be awesome. I totally read that. But on the screen it's cool. Difficult. But yeah.
There was such taboo around fan fiction when I was younger. But now it's just so common and so like accepted, I guess, to be reading fan fiction. It's like, oh, why couldn't it have been like this when I read it?
Yeah, it's such a great way to like indulge more in stories and you know, to also like practice writing and stuff. So yay, fanfics.
Yes, absolutely, definitely. Doing Iron Man 3. This is my 9th Nano. Next year is my 10th. Wow, 9 years of doing NaNoWriMo. That is a lot. Sarah C, I'm working on a fantasy. I'm at the 4th, 5th chapter, and my MC is finally accepting the call to adventure.
Nice. Go MC.
That's a really fun part. Yes. It's a very difficult part to write, I personally find, because it's like, how long do I make them debate over whether or not they accept this? And it's like, I can never quite get the pacing right. It's either they accept it too quickly or they take too long to accept it. And I'm like, I can't find the middle ground, which is really, really annoying.
Yeah, I'm personally more of a planner, so I usually don't follow the beats as much, as at least in the first draft. But I do feel that in rewrites where it's like, okay, when do they make the decision and have they thought it through enough? And so yeah, it can be a tricky part.
Yeah. See, I'm a planner, but I only plan out the beats and I don't plan out anything in between them.
Oh, interesting.
So I always, because I've had such an issue with my pacing before, I always make sure just to plan the beats so I know where I need to be, and then everything else I just sort of make up as I go to make sure that they get to this specific point. But it's weird how obviously we work the same as in Planter, but we have such different ways to go about it and get stuff done.
Absolutely. I do more of like the music video method. I usually get ideas attached to songs and then just write out like the scene fragments I have. And then I slowly move my way through them, but not really not really organizing them. So the first like outline for this project was basically how they call those, like charts, where it's just a bunch of a mind map with just a bunch of bubbles.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I don't know yet how I'm going to connect these, but we'll see.
We'll get it somehow. Somehow we'll manage. CB 394 Iron Man 3 is my favorite movie of the entire MCU. You know what? I've never watched Iron Man 3 or 2 or 1 or any of the Captain Americas. I'm really bad. I only started watching the Marvel Universe with, I want to say it was Civil War, I think, was the first one I properly watched. And then I started getting into it more with Black Panther. And then I think everything after Black Panther, like Thor, Ragnarok, and the Spider-Mans, and they're the ones that I've actually sat and enjoyed. I haven't watched any of the early ones. But then I'm not a fan of most of the Marvel superheroes either. But take what you can get. I'm right there with you. I want to edit and move things around, but then I have to stop myself for after Nano.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it will slow you down personally if you do it at the time. Same here, songs are so inspiring. What's the most inspiring artist that you listen to or have listened to?
At the moment, for my current work in progress, it's Elliott Smith. I just discovered him on Spotify not so long ago. Singer, songwriter, kind of indie from the 90s and early 2000s. Unfortunately, he's not alive anymore, but Between the Bars by Elliott Smith is like the song for me at the moment. I listen to, I found a shallow version of it so that I don't hear the lyrics. So I'm basically listening to that on repeat.
I love instrumental versions of songs. I love, because you listen to the lyrics, you get distracted. With no lyrics, you don't get distracted as much.
Exactly. I started out writing with the Hamilton soundtrack with lyrics, and then when I first look back at my very first chapters, and I'm like, oh no, they're full of Hamilton quotes. So yeah.
Oh, I've done that before as well. So C favorite is Captain America: Winter Soldier. I've seen part of it. I think. Kind of watch Endgame again 3 times was enough. I think I've seen it once, and I think once was enough for me, but just because it's so long. Terrified. Oh no, not Elliott Smith. I love him. You've got another Elliott Smith fan. And Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi's good too.
He makes me so sad.
Yeah. I mean the instrumentals help a little bit that you don't hear the lyrics, but I'm also not really writing something cheerful, so whoops.
So the sadness helps.
Exactly, he makes me cry, I make the readers cry, we're all having a good time.
We're all crying, it's all good, we're all there.
Yeah.
I'll have to check him out then.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So
what about you?
I usually listen to Lindsay Sterling
Also
when I'm writing, because it's mostly just instrumental, and I love watching her music videos because they are also very inspiring to watch, because she has great music videos.
I have to see that. Check it out.
Yeah, it's just mostly Lindsay Sterling. I'm watching some show on TV while I type, because sometimes having the TV on doesn't distract me as much as I think it will. It sort of gives me something to focus my editor brain on, I guess.
Okay.
I sort of end up tuning it out, and it's like background noise while I do typing. If I feel like I'm not writing as much, or I'm not as much pressure on myself to write because I'm watching TV at the same time.
You're the first time to explain that. I always see it in like vlogs and in Kate's videos and stuff, and I'm always like, how? But it's good to know. Okay, that makes sense. I can almost understand that.
It has to be something I've watched before, though, otherwise I will get distracted. But yeah, it just takes the pressure off somehow. I don't understand why. It just does. It makes writing easier sometimes if I'm finding it difficult.
Yeah.
Got some instrumental covers of Bon Jovi songs. I'm really happy now. Perfect. I always check for instrumentals. Right, so we should get ready for our first sprint.
Yes.
Let's get this started. I have, what do I need? Let me share the screen and then I can figure out everything else as I go.
Should probably pull up Scrivener again.
There we go. Right, that works. Yeah, I have a very bad habit of starting late, and then by the time we get to the final sprint, it's like past 11 o'clock where I am in the UK, and I'm like,
yeah, it's pretty late.
Yes, I need to pay more attention to the time as I'm doing it. So at least I sort of end at the right time. Boone writes, I sometimes watch music videos to get both audio and visible inspiration. Yes, definitely.
Nice. Yeah. Movable
Right,
Pinterest boards.
Yes. Oh, Pinterest boards. If I go to the right place, that would help me out. If I head into the sprint team, are you guys are currently in the middle of a sprint, which has got 10 minutes left, so that's fine. We're going for an 8-minute sprint first. Okay. Everybody wants to get your stuff ready to go, and we will start our first sprint in getting everything prepared. 3, 2, 1. Let me get onto the right page and begin.
Okay.
What?
Okay, that is the timer, guys. Oh, I need to find it now to stop it. Where is it? There it is. Right, how did everybody do in that first
they went by
sprint?
fast.
I got 8 minutes 10 to do. It's really weird. Where's my pen? There it is. 279
Nice.
words for that first
Nice.
sprint.
I got 94. It's good for me. It's pretty quick
That's
for
good.
me. I'm writing pretty slow when it comes to this book, so I'm happy with it.
That's good. It's a first draft, so I'm writing as crappily as I need to in order to get the
No,
words.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
And I know that I can always fix it later. It's fine. It's not a problem. How did everybody else do in that sprint?
Hi.
Tilly's Art is here. Hello, Tilly's Art. How are you? Ooh, I can take this banner off now as well, can't I? There we go. We don't one up. I know that comments are coming in, but it's so slow to get them over to StreamYard.
Oh.
It's like 20-second lag sometimes. It's so annoying. Right, so Sarah C, a little over 100 words. Had to stop to look some stuff up.
Nice.
CB394, I'd call it about 100 words. Oh, they've all appeared now.
Oh, yeah.
Boone, I got 158 on that one. Well done. Steffi Faye, 2 full words, I think. That's really good. 94 in 8 minutes is decent. Yes, it is. What are you doing, Tilly's Art? Not being productive, I imagine. Right, so for everybody who's, well, it's not even first, anybody who's doing Nano, what is your, what's the word I'm looking for? Are you a plotter, a plantser, or a pantser? What faction are you in? Which house have you been put into this year? CB394, my favourite line I wrote today. Metatron, if you touches even one hair on her head, I'll cut your soul out with a spoon. Oh,
nice.
I like that.
Nice. I love spoon
Mashup.
sweats. That's always the best.
So mashup with Harry Potter, Batman, WWE, and Dogma. I know the first 3. I don't think I've ever seen Dogma in my entire life.
I love Dogma.
I've heard of it. That's about it. Ponan I is here. Hello. Writing up D&D notes counts.
Definitely.
Right, it's writing, it counts. Okay, I'll let you off. I'll let you off just that once.
It's very world creating, adventure creating. It's almost fun.
Yes, she keeps trying to get me to play D&D.
Oh, you should.
Everybody around me is like, you should play D&D. You're a writer. It's all about creating characters and world building and stuff. And I'm like, okay, thanks.
Join our group.
Ooh, that's another one. Everybody around me tries to. Every time I mention D&D, everyone is just like, yes, do it. And I'm like, I need someone to one day just be, I understand, don't do it.
See, I'm very biased here because I got back into writing because of D&D, because I started writing fan fiction to our D&D campaign, and that spiraled out into my actual book. So yeah, I'm biased.
No, yeah, of course. Most people are biased because I know. I think the most exposure I have to D&D is watching Stranger Things.
I haven't seen Stranger Things, so.
Have you not? Are you sure it's good? Sarah C, plotzer, but learning more plotter, leaning more plotter than pantser. Jasmine Ray, hello, how are you? I was originally a complete pantser, and that's one of the children awake and crying. But now I apparently can't function without a very extensive outline. It's weird. I always try to be a plotter because I know that having an outline helps, but I just don't have the focus to make an outline. I get bored and I'm like, I just want to start writing this story.
Yeah.
And so I sort of give up halfway and then just start writing anyway. If I need to outline, I'll outline ahead. So I'll write chapter 1 and then I'll outline chapter 2.
Yeah, that's
and then
what
I'll
I do sometimes too. I feel like it depends on the project too. I feel like the story that you're telling kind of gives you a little bit of how it should be plotted. Like I haven't started writing it yet, but I have a middle grade idea too. And for some reason, a whole outline came out of me, and I was just like, what? So
some things I've found have been easier to plot than others. But then sometimes I know things have been easier to just pants. So yeah, it completely depends on the project, and it depends on what my mindset and my motivation is during the time I'm writing as well. Yeah, it's just a mix of everything. I suppose every writer is a mix of everything, and they go between each and every single one. Steffi Faye, hardcore plotter. I need to have a scene-by-scene outline before even starting, otherwise I'm completely blocked.
Interesting.
Yes. Sarah C. Planter, yeah. Plots sounds fun as well, though.
Plot, yeah.
Devin Cutting, plotter. Right, is it pronounced Lay or Lee? Lay? Ravenscroft, I love your avatar, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It's Discord, hello, how are you? Hardcore plotter also, lots of plotters.
Yeah.
Usually when I ask this question, it's mostly planters or, but yeah, a lot of plotters this time.
Fair.
Draft. Yes.
Fair.
The only casualty of the first draft is the plot.
Oh yeah.
I get so lost otherwise, yeah.
My first one didn't even have a plot in my first draft. I was like, oh, I need a plot. Let's sit down for it. But then again, I rewrote it like 70%, so.
I think the first novel I ever wrote had a basic plot.
Mm-hmm.
They needed to go from A to B in order to do something, but everything in between I sort of just made up as I went along. This was like before the internet and before social media, so it was like, this is how I think a book is written.
Oh.
I'm going to write it like this. Obviously I've learned a lot since then, but it's still a dilly-dally between.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I realise I'm a planter with this nano. I'll create a plot and completely ignore it until I've gone too far off the rails.
Fair.
It can happen. Inspiration hits at the weirdest moments in the weirdest ways. Everyone help me get Sarah into D&D.
I can be your accomplice.
Never! Dogma is a very, very funny Alan Rickman movie. Oh, okay. Alan Rickman,
Yeah.
okay. There's a very subtle tribute to him in that sentence that I shared. Lol. I wasn't ever really a very big Alan Rickman fan. The only thing that I knew him from was Harry Potter, and the only thing I know him from still is Harry Potter, which is bad. But I'm not very much a movie person anyway.
Fair. I was a huge Alan Rickman fan. Oh, Lee.
Oh yeah, no, I loved him in Harry Potter. I don't like the character Snape. I love Alan Rickman as Snape. He was very, very good. One of my favourite portrayals of a character.
Definitely. Hey Lee, your name is pronounced like everyone pronounces my name.
Right. Oh, we've got more comments coming in that aren't appearing, and it's so frustrating.
I know.
Vixens of Fiction is here. Hello, how are you? I'm so behind from being distracted today and yesterday. Let me catch up on the chat. Go for it. Dogma is Stella, says Steffi Faye. Okay, okay, fine. I'll give it a go.
You're being roped into watching a movie as well now?
I've been roped into looking into it a bit more. Whether I'll actually watch it or not, I don't know. But
yeah, Galaxy Quest is great too. If you're a Jane Austen fan, I really like Sense and Sensibility as well, and Alan Rickman's in that one. So,
oh, is he?
Yeah. I just did Jane Austen weekends to soothe my nerves, and that was really good.
I feel like there's lots and lots of versions of every single Jane Austen novel out there.
Fair.
It's one of those things that they just keep getting remade over and over again. Things like Pride and Prejudice and Emma and all of those. I feel like that's. Galaxy Quest is hysterical as well. Galaxy Quest was amazing. Very good. Vixens of Fiction, serious plotter with pantser tendencies. Lol. See, that's the thing about plotting that I don't think a lot of people sort of like understand or know, is that if you are a plotter, you don't have to follow your outline. Like, and I know some people feel like they have to like stick rigidly to what they're doing, but the best way that I plot is I plot, and then if I feel like I want to go off on a tangent, I'll go off on a tangent.
Mm-hmm.
As long as I get back to where I want my plot to be, It's like taking a side quest. If I want to take a side quest, I'll take a side quest as long as I go back to the main quest afterwards.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. Go.
I'm a super high proponent of like follow the intuition where it leads you, even like with the outline. Partially because in my stories, I feel like I don't really discover the story until like 70% in. So I feel like if I would stick to just one outline, I wouldn't actually write the story I was meant to write with the idea. So
yeah,
I'm always in favor of following the nudges and see what world they lead you into.
Yeah, the things you can come up with when you're going off of what your gut is telling you, you can get some amazing stuff that you never would have thought of if you're just sitting down trying to force it out onto an outline.
Absolutely. And
I think that's one of the ways writers work best. And Steffi Faye agrees.
Good.
Which is good. Right. We're going to the second sprint. That will bring us to roughly 10 o'clock my time. 5 o'clock?
5 o'clock, yes.
It's 5 hours between us now. I keep needing to remember that you went back in November. Yeah, because we had our daylight savings on the 24th or the 25th of October.
Right. But
so there was like 1 week where we were like 4 hours apart instead of 5.
I was thinking of German time, but of course UK time is 1 hour away again.
1 hour away again, yeah. It's like time zones. I hate time zones. Time zones suck so much.
I've lived in like 4 different time zones now, and I'm so bad with math, so I always have to look it up.
Yeah, no, so do I. Especially if it's America and there's like 3 or 4 different time zones just within America. It's just like, which one do I use? I always just end up using EST. I don't know why. I don't even know which part of America EST is.
East Coast.
East Coast.
Yeah.
So the side of New York.
Yes.
Okay.
Here.
That's how terrible I am. That's how terrible I am. I'm like, New York is over here. Texas is down here. Florida's down here somewhere, and LA is over on that side.
West Coast, yep.
Yeah. Okay. That's all I know about America. I'm so sorry. Hard agree. Sometimes you find what's missing or redundant only through the process of writing. Yeah. That's how I create my characters as well. Time zones are weird, but magic. No, they are. Outlines so helpful to keep the story from going off the rails, but I never stop creative writing flow. Yeah, that's very, very important.
True.
Sense and Sensibility is one of the best. I just watched the one with Emma Thompson recently. I think that's the Sense and Sensibility that I've seen the most of, is the one with Emma Thompson in it. EST person here who appreciates you using EST.
Yeah.
I find that it's like the most used time zone. So every time I go, I'm going online, I say it in EST because it's easier for everyone in America to convert to EST than it would be for them to convert to GMT, which is where I am. So I just make it easier for everyone else.
Much appreciated. Much appreciated. You have to do the math, not me. I'm highly grateful.
Canada has 6 time zones.
Oh, goodness. No.
Can't imagine. EST and CST are the ones usually used in the US. I won't pretend our systems aren't confusing. Don't you have like PMT as well or something like that?
Yeah, that's the Pacific. That's the West Coast.
There's just so many. Isn't that like 8 hours behind? I don't know. The world is weird.
Yeah, it's 8 hours. I studied in San Francisco, so like I did the math with my parents in Germany, and yes, 8 to London.
So I sort of know. That's good. That's good. Right, we'll go into our second sprint. Let me bring this back up. While we're sprinting, if everyone wants to think about, and then once we're done, let us know how you did and then how you create your characters.
Ooh.
Because I'm very, very interested to find out how people create their characters, because I do mine a bit weirdly. And it's just going to be fun to see how everyone else does theirs as well. Well, weird. I think it's weird. It probably won't be as weird as I think it is.
I feel like for writing, nothing is weird and everything's weird, you know.
Yeah, it's all weird and not weird at the same time somehow. Right. The magic of writing. Right, we're going to go into our second sprint, 16 minutes. Everyone ready? In 3, 2, 1, begin. And that is the second sprint over and done with.
Hey
Okay.
everyone!
How did everybody do during that sprint? Let me know. I need to math now to figure out how much I wrote.
Yeah, I think
Never a good thing.
a little dark. Huh?
Where am I? I'm here. How did you do on that last sprint?
I think I'm getting somewhere. I was a little stuck, but I think I got a new nudge to where to go next. So it was 210 words, I think. So what was it? Decent? Decent.
That's good. That's good. I got 717 for that
Oh
sprint.
wow, that's awesome. Nice.
So yes, fast drafter.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. I've been struggling to get like 300 words for like a 20-minute sprint, which is bad. But as I'm getting more and more into the story, it's becoming easier to just
That's good.
write. Luckily,
Getting to know everyone. Yeah, I just introduced a new character too, so I'm like, okay, descriptions. Let me think of descriptions.
yeah, it's so difficult trying to figure out what descriptions to give, how much of a description to give, and then
Yeah,
you don't know until you write it, and then until you read it back anyway.
exactly. I think it's really hard to sort of guess how much descriptions readers like, because personally I actually skip over descriptions and I don't need any descriptions
Oh,
of
really?
characters other than like dialogue and so yeah, it's really strange. So I keep having to remind myself that people do enjoy a little bit more physical descriptions than I do, so that I don't just be like, use your imagination.
See, so it depends on the
Yes.
person, I suppose, because I don't have like a preference for descriptions when I'm reading them, but when I'm writing them, I feel the need to have to like describe like what certain characters are wearing
Okay.
at any given time. But then again, I think it depends on the type of character my protagonist is, whether they're the type of person to notice what other people are wearing or what they look like on any given day.
Mm-hmm.
So those more minded fashion driven protagonists or the more observant ones will observe more about the description than other protagonists will.
That makes sense.
So I think it just depends on who I'm writing at the time.
True.
Let's head to the let me get rid of the banner. Let's get rid of the banner. We've got Hayley Haggerty here. Hello, how are you? Just woke up from a nap. I'm jealous. I would have loved to have just woken up from a nap. Steffi Faye, 453 words. Boone writes 307.
Ooh.
620, writing a high stakes scene.
Oh, I love high stakes scenes too.
Yes, definitely.
That's a great. Thank you.
Great job. Thank you very much. Vixens of Fiction, just a 300. Nice. That's good. Ashley B is here. Hello, how are you?
Hi, Ashley.
91 words. Well done. Vixens of Fiction, I've decided to just write it and I add in descriptions that I don't get in the second draft. Yeah.
Smart. Yeah.
I lack descriptions so much when I write my initial first draft. So it's like I don't do establishing settings. I just get right into it, and sometimes it's really jarring when I read it back, and I'm like, should have made that a little bit better. But what you don't do in the first draft, you can fix for the second draft. So I try not to worry too much about what my writing sounds like.
I mean, it's important to keep the momentum going too, and descriptions can kind of slow you down there. I just wrote a part that I read to my wife, and in it, my character was just like raising the arm to check where the wind was coming from, and I never explained that that's what they were doing. It was just like raising the arm, and I was just like reading it, and I'm like, oh, I should probably tell you what the character's thinking and not just describe it. But
yeah, cool. the things you discover when you're writing, and you're just like, that doesn't make sense. What was I supposed to be doing there?
Yeah.
Which is fun. Guys in the comments, how are you with your descriptions? Do you tend to overwrite your descriptions, or do you just like not bother including any at all? Who knows? Who knows?
Although
Right,
I feel like it's probably better in the first draft to lack a description than to lack the action, because it's probably easier to fill out descriptions than to fill out actions. So
yeah, definitely.
It's okay.
It's having the actions there, and then you can always expand on the actions as well.
Right.
But obviously actions will change the plot more than description will. So yeah, it's one of the main points I always try and do, is to get the main action points of a story in the story. And then any other character development pieces or conversations that I want in there, descriptions, and then inner thought as well is a big thing that I don't tend to add during the first draft.
That's where I go overboard usually. Like inner thought is usually my focus point, and then I'm like, oh, the outside world exists.
I just can't. I just find inner thought so difficult to do. It's like, how do I do it? So it's got their voice, which is very, very important. But then what's too much? What's not enough? Am I just repeating myself over and over again with this inner thought, but said in slightly different ways? Because people do that, but then it doesn't read very well.
True. I feel like in the first draft, sometimes I have to remind myself too what the stakes are by like writing it again in the like if it's a really rough draft, it's like, okay, and these are the stakes, and these are the stakes, so that then I don't know, in the next draft I can go back and put it all together.
Yes, I find it difficult to do that though sometimes, because I think to myself during the second draft, oh, I need to make sure that they have an inner thought about this particular moment, so I add that in, and then like 2 pages down is exactly what I've just added. I've just put it further down, and I'm like,
true.
Now it's in there twice because I didn't realise, because I accidentally skipped over it when I reread it.
Maybe we need to trust ourselves more than we actually like are including more things than we think we are.
But the amount of times I've thought to myself, I need to add this bit of information, but I have already added it. It's like terrified, underwrite description, overwrite navel gazing. Oh,
navel gazing.
That's good. Okay, hello. Like 60% of me rereading my zero draft is being like, no one else would know what I meant. Do I know what I meant? Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I just wrote squeaky as a description, and I tried to figure out what I actually meant, and I'm not sure. Slick? I don't know. It was supposed to be a physical character description. I'm like, okay, squeaky now. Cool.
I find the thing that I tend to do is not so much when I'm rereading my draft, but once I've reread my draft and I've made the notes on what I want to change, it's rereading the notes on what I want to change. And I'm like, what is this supposed to be? What did I mean here that I wanted to change? I don't quite understand what I'm talking about. Which is, it's terrible, but there you go. I tend to word vomit my descriptions in my first draft and make them relevant in the second. Oh, that's good.
That's good, yeah.
That's interesting, because word vomiting obviously helps with the word count.
Yes.
So you get the extra word count. We write NaNoWriMo like we do novels. We over-explain everything. Like the poison for Cusco's poison. etc. But that's actually really good. To try and make them relevant is also a really cool way of looking at it as well. Lee, I over describe so flowery it makes me sick sometimes, but that's what editing is for. Gotta go. Thanks for the stream. Thank you so much for joining us. But yeah, I can't over describe, or I can't overwrite. I tend to always underwrite because I find it so difficult to cut back my words. I find it so difficult. It's easier for me to add words than it is for me to take away. It might just be that I don't like cutting words out of my novel. Ashley B, description is something I want to get better at. I definitely overthink and still have to flesh out later. Yeah, I sometimes find description difficult as well. It's choosing what to describe, I guess, is the difficult part of it. Inner monologue is something I'm good at. I wish I was good at inner monologue. Don't get me started with descriptions.
I feel like the trick with description often is to only describe what is relevant to both, like what reveals something about the character and the plot, and that's where I sometimes just skim over everything because I'm like, no, okay, slow down. What could be relevant to that? What could be relevant to that?
That takes getting to know your character quite well.
Yes,
as well,
yes.
trying to figure out what you need, because you stick 5 people in a room. Or you ask 5 people to enter a room and say, what are the first 3 things that you notice about this room? They're all going to say something different.
Yeah.
So it takes getting to know your character very well to figure out what it is that they would notice.
I do.
But also trying to make those things relevant for the reader as well.
Yeah. I do actually like that part about descriptions. I love like picturing exactly, but I think that's because I studied acting, and in acting we did a lot of like going to the room and create a backstory with each item. So I do like kind of thinking myself into the character and then thinking, okay, everything that you own actually has a story behind it, how it got to you, and
that's
like
nice,
what to the character like that. So I do like doing that.
Yeah, it's very character telling as well.
Yeah,
which is fun. Okay, I want to start describing people as Squeaky.
Please. Oh, you've got another nickname now for your Project Death character that you need to, with the scar.
Yes.
Squeaky. Just never explain it. Squeaky.
Yes, my edit notes to future me don't always make sense either. I wish they would. Actually, it's usually like one word and a question mark, and I'm like, what does this mean? What does it mean? That is exactly what I do. That is exactly what I do. Or because I need to put more action in, I'll write the character's name. So they'll have like a piece of dialogue, but there's no like action or dialogue tag attached to it. I want to add an action tag, but instead of thinking about the action tag I want to add, I'll just write the character's name and ... And then future me is left to go, okay,
yeah.
But what precisely do you want them to do in this situation? I couldn't think of it then. I'm not going to be able to think of it now.
Oh no, I get that. I did one part of like my edit notes I wrote while on the airplane and jet lagged, and then I looked back on it and I was just like, what? Okay.
That makes sense. Steffi Faye put smart thing here, Steffi. That's me all the time. That sounds precisely like the note that I would write to myself. Add description. Thanks, past me. That's very helpful. Same, Ashley B. I always love the confidence past me has that I'll know what I meant. Excuse me, self-care to elaborate. No? Okay, yeah. I'm loving that I'm not alone with this. I also don't know what I'm doing most of the time as I write. That's fantastic. Past me definitely needs to calm down and elaborate a little more with the word association. See, my past me is like, it's fine. Future me can sort it out. I'll do the basic work, and then future me can do all the hard work. Then when I get to future me does the same thing for future me.
Yes.
So it's like nothing helps. Nothing helps.
Future Leah's problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's always future's problems. Never current person's problem.
I've been trying to be like nicer to myself, so the last pass of notes I wrote to myself include stuff like "thank you," but it was still not clear. So it's like "thank you, you're welcome." I think.
What?
I hope.
What did I do? What? But that actually, no, I love that idea. The thing I love, I suppose, about beta notes is when they leave like little fun comments or like positive comments. I love reading those. Yeah. But actually leaving yourself positive comments while you revise your draft, like this is such a really, really good description. I love how you did that. Yeah. That's actually really, I might have to try that next time I revise. Because going back through the manuscript and seeing all of those, you're like, yeah, I did good.
Or like, I think even a simple, really happy with this line might actually help, because it's like, okay, even if you can improve upon it now, you can look back and be like, hey, good, writing this was good, it was fun, we like writing. Yes,
it will definitely also sort of try and take the pressure off how daunting the task is, that you have all of these like changes that you need to make. Some positivity in there as well. Really like that. Right, so we need to get into our. We're gonna overrun a little bit now. I can see it. We'll get into our 24-minute sprint now, guys, so we can sort of finish on time. Whoever's in the Discord, if we start at, we're starting in 60 seconds. Discord server, thank you. We'll start at 22:13 for our 24-minute sprint, which is fun. Let me get everything set up. Boone, we rely on our future selves way too much. We do. We shouldn't, but we do. Right, so I'm going to stick that's the incorrect time on that sticker. Right. Oh, no, I just changed you. What is going on? Oh, I didn't save you. That's why. Save. Show. Right. We shall begin our 24-minute sprint, guys, in 3, 2, 1, and right. Okay, third sprint done and dusted. Oh, it always takes me so long to turn this stupid timer off.
Hey!
Yay!
How did everyone go?
How did everybody do, guys?
How did everyone go? How did it go? How did everyone do?
How did some sort of words happen with people?
Yes. Clearly my words are already going out the window.
I find that we writers, we can talk or we can write, but we can't do both at the same time.
Both is very complicated. I ended up kind of falling down a research hole, but I'm not too mad about it because evening is usually not my best concentration time. So I'm like, okay, I got some words and I got a good chunk of like backstory flesh out. That's pretty good too.
That's
especially
good.
for today.
Very good. I got 1,176 words. So.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
I'm happy with that. That's my norm.
What's your count for the day so far?
I don't actually know. Let me find out. My count is 5,674 for the day.
Wow, that's amazing.
My daily goal is supposed to be 6,000 for the first 10 days anyway, because I'm doing 2 different projects.
Right.
And I've been doing really badly the past couple of days. I got like 4,000 and then 2,000 the past couple of days.
I love the different definitions of like doing badly. It's like, okay, I did 400 in this current state. That's great. I did 4,000. Oh, that sucks.
Sucks. It's terrible. So I just give myself really weird, awkward word count goals. Like it's not a massive issue if I don't hit my specific word count goals for the first 10 days. It will just make things easier trying to fit both projects in at the same time. But I'm trying not to focus on the negatives if I don't hit the word count I want. I just need to focus on the positives that I wrote something. So, which is better than writing nothing.
It's important that you recognize how much you've already achieved too, because it's good to push yourself, but not if we forget the actual achievements.
Yeah, I find that writers tend to focus on the negative more than the positive.
Yeah,
we like to think about what we could have done better or what we didn't achieve instead of like, but actually,
right,
this is what I did well, and we'll focus on that.
I'm always a proponent for like changing your mindset around it and being a little kinder to yourself, because I feel like it helps in the long run, but it definitely takes time to train that and like to constantly remind yourself like, no, let's be nice to ourselves.
Yes, get rid of the perfectionism and do the best that you can do at any given time. Hello. Oh, computers are just so temperamental. We are the Twin Tails is here. Hello, writing. Let's get another chapter done. Yes, let's hope you managed to get that chapter. The Right Mama is here. Hello. Oh, I love your avatar with your 2 little twins in the background. It's so cool. I'm free for a few hours. I'm guessing you guys are nearing the end of your sprints though. We have one more sprint to go, a 32-minute sprint, which we should start pretty quickly actually. Yes, 32-minute sprint. Steffi Faye got 5:45. Well done.
Yay.
Ashley B 377. 325 for We Are the Twin Tails. I love the accent. Sprints with wondrous writerly Brits. See, I don't feel like I have an accent. I've always wondered what I sound like to other people, especially people who are not British.
Right.
So it's fun to know that I actually have an accent and it's not just me thinking I just don't have one. It's fine.
I'm technically German, but I lived in London for a year, and it was really funny because people kept thinking that I was American for some reason, although my accent doesn't sound that American. And then I came back here and people were like, oh, UK? I'm like, no. So
I think it's like how people think the British and the Australian accents are the exact same accent.
Right. Yeah.
So some people, I suppose, American and German sound similar, and they haven't heard enough of either to sort of differentiate between the two.
Fair.
So see, got a bit distracted, but around 200 to 250 words. I was doing heavy dialogue.
You and me both, Sarah. It's fine. We're doing good.
Boone writes 479 and a bit of research I should have done during Preptober. Yeah, I feel that. I haven't even made
Tell me
one
what,
down
Sarah.
for my God. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I'm sure. I don't know where you are in the world, but I'm sure you have lots of daylight left in order to get the last
Yeah.
words that you need to. I'm a perfectionist, so I can't help but censor my creativity most of the time. Yeah, that's a big issue. I somehow have and somehow don't have. You're doing it. Oh, thank you. A lot better than I have been doing the past few days, definitely. So I'm glad I'm sort of getting into this story and writing it speedily like I wanted to now. Stop calling me out like that. I don't know what I did to call you out, but I'll never stop doing it. Vixen's Fiction, I haven't either, but I'm behind, but I think I can make it up tonight. You can do it. Are you aiming for the standard or more like Sarah? Oh, I hope no one is doing the stupid thing that I'm doing. Please no. Steffi Faye, high five in
Oh,
German.
how do you high five in German? Give me a thumb. Oh gosh.
Somehow,
Translations are like not my forte tonight.
definitely not. Right, Mum, I was wondering where your accent was. It's beautiful. Oh, it's lovely.
Thank you.
Just Buffalo, New York, so nothing. See, you probably have such an accent to me. Most people have a slight accent. I don't ever hear heavy accents unless it's a Scottish or an Irish accent for me. That they're very heavy to me. I'm just doing a 1667. It's my first nano. Another first timer. Yes,
Nice.
you can do it. You can do it. Rely on the community. You'll do fine. Don't worry. And don't fret too much if you don't hit the word count.
Yeah, it's important that you remind yourself how much you are creating in November, and that's pretty cool. And then you can do it again in another month.
Yes, it's not the end of the world if you do not hit the 50,000. The important thing is that you took part and you managed to write something. Sarah is a real
Indeed.
Not really. I just bite off more than I can chew. Right, we're going to get straight into this 32-minute sprint because we are ever so slightly over, which isn't a massive issue. So if everybody is ready to go for our last and final longest sprint of the evening, we'll begin in 3, 2, 1, and go. Okay.
Yay!
That is the last sprint done and dusted, everybody. Well done.
Woo!
Not a lot of people like 32-minute sprints. So how did it go for everybody? Did we have the focus? How many words did we get?
On my end, it was pretty good. It was 350. But the focus tonight isn't that great. Although I have to say, I usually only do 30-minute sprints when I write by myself in the morning. So I'm a fan of them. I think I'm an outlier here.
Yeah, I tend to usually use 30-minute sprints as well. I haven't recently. I didn't get that much. What will I do now? Okay, it's too much math.
I know.
It's too much math for me.
That's a really good sign, though. You've got enough numbers that it's too much math.
Okay, I just need to. I've gone on to a new chapter, so now I can't just minus everything else.
Oh, that's always more complicated to calculate. But are you able to just move on to the next chapter? Usually, when I finish a chapter, I need I don't know, I need kind of a breath after that chapter before I can start the next one.
Usually, I'm okay going straight to the next one. It depends on what chapter follows the one I've just written.
That's true.
If it sort of follows straight on chronologically from the last chapter, I find it easier.
Yeah.
If it's like a new day or a new moment, then it takes a little bit for me to get into it.
Yeah.
1206.
Oh, wow.
For that last sprint. So, yay, I'm officially on chapter 14.
Nice.
So we're doing well. This is the furthest I've gotten in quite a while.
I just finished chapter 14. I'm like, I've been doing this since August. It's okay.
I'm writing a middle grade, so all my chapters are only like around 1,500 words long instead of my usual like 3,000. So I get through them quite quickly because it's just not so much to write in them.
Makes sense.
Where did we get to? We are the Twin Tails, 300 more words, and I need to go join the boyfriend for dinner. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a fun dinner. Steph, it was so long. Yes. It is long. I do sometimes find it hard to focus for the entire 32 minutes. It depends how I'm feeling. I did not focus that whole thing. It's fine. As long as you got some productivity done during the sprint, that's all we ask. 8:16 for Sissy. That's pretty good.
8:16 is great still.
I had to fix dinner, but watching the two YouTube writers made me very motivated to get more words tonight. Good. That's what we're here for. I actually got about 500 words. That's great. And for me, that's pretty dang good. I like it. Laptop died halfway through, so I had to go do the whole finagling to plug it in thing. Yeah.
I did the same thing. I knocked over like my lamp and stuff, so I get it.
Because my laptop is really bad. Like the battery's terrible on it. And there have been moments where like I've nudged the power cord out of it by accident and I haven't noticed. And I'll be in the middle of doing something and my laptop will just suddenly turn itself off and I'm like, why have you done that? You're plugged in.
Oh,
no, it's not plugged in.
Break time. Yeah, my cat's constantly unplug it, so I have to keep an eye on it.
Boone writes, also just made dinner, so not a lot of writing done. Everyone's having dinner. Like, I'm good.
I'm making me hungry.
I'm getting ready for bed in a minute. You guys are just having dinner. My focus is crap. It's okay. You still got a lot of words written. How do you write? So I practice, really. Lots and lots of practice. I finally made 1K of my goal for the day. That's fantastic. Well done.
Yay, good job.
I think it's about 300 words. Could be more, but that's pretty good for me since I've been struggling today. That's fantastic. Absolutely fun. Thank you. I've been doing okay today. I did the dishes and got 157 words. So yes, productivity.
That's really good too.
That's the only important thing, is that you've been at least a little bit productive in doing something. I'm jealous and now I'm hungry.
I feel you.
Everyone's like, I'm eating food, and I'm like, I can't do that. I need to go to bed. Guys, okay, well, I think what
I'll
we'll do
eat some for you.
Yes, thank you. Please let me know what we had. I'm about to have everyone's eating. I'm going to go to sleep.
And dream of all the food you can eat.
Yes, I don't quite know who wins. Right, guys, we're going to call it for this stream because it is 20 past 11 where I am, and I do have a school run with the children in the morning.
Okay.
Which I'm not looking forward to. But thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure having you. Lee, do you want to do an outro of sorts or reintroduce yourself for everybody else?
Yeah, sure. You can find me on YouTube at Story Manifestors. I think the link was in the description.
Yes, the link is in the description for everyone.
Just a heads up there, I did like a long writing comedy thing for all of Halloween, so the last videos aren't exactly like what I'm normally doing, but I'll be talking about tropes and writing tips and stuff starting theoretically this week, but the world happened.
Yes,
yeah, and I'm Leia. I think my writing was better, but my words are also still working. So hi, it's good to meet you all.
I'm looking forward because I love discussions and things about tropes and cliches and all of that. That's what I'm here for. So I'm very, very excited for those.
Good.
Mum life, yes, mum life. So thank you so much for joining us, guys. For everyone else who has the rest of the day, have a productive rest of the day.
Yes.
I'll see the majority of you around Discord regardless over the next few days. So let me know how many more words that you got written today. I don't know who else is streaming, if anybody wants another stream to go to. Let me bring up my Google Calendar.
All right.
And, I can stop sharing the screen as well now. That would be handy. If anybody else is looking for any more streams this evening, oh my God, I have to go to the 5th. Page Nomad has a stream starting at at 7 EST, and then Kristen Leatherman has one starting at 8 EST, and then Savvy's got her NaNoWriMo sleepover starting at 11, 10 or 11. I can't count backwards that much. 3, 2, 1, 2.
Oh, wow.
At 11. So there are a few more people streaming if you guys need any more to do so. You're going to be busy in the Sprint Discord anyway. So
true.
Thank you
All right.
for joining us, and we will see you